Welcome to Bluing House. I hope you enjoy visiting this multicultural inspired home. Watch to the end to see some before photos and click the link in the comment section below to read an article about Renzo Mongiardino, whose design tricks Geraldo used in his home. I hope you enjoy it.
Welcome to my home. I'm Gerardo. I invite you to come into my home and I want to take you through a tour of the things that I've done over a period of over 20 years. It has been a labor and love, and it expresses my interest in art and history. And I want to show you and give you the information that you may want, because a lot of the things that you will see have been done by me. I'm very handy, and starting with the tile that you see on the walls, this Moroccan tile, I bought the samples in Morocco and Spain, brought them back with me, and made molds made out of rubber. It took me 3 times until I got it right, and then I was able to do it. And there are over 1,000 pounds of plaster throughout the townhome. The different styles that on the tile, there are 5 different styles, which I have reproduced. And to give that weather look, I learned about a wonderful designer, Renzo Mongiardino, who used coffee to stain them and give that weather an antique look like they have them in the Alhambra. Now the archway I brought back with my mother. We were traveling in Spain. This one I bought there, and it was rather difficult to bring it, but we did. We had it cut in 4 pieces and able to bring it back. And it also has the same treatment with coffee as the rest of the tile. There are over 1,000 pounds of plaster throughout, as you can see, and we will see in the rest of the house. There are other walls, but the crown molding, the chair rail, all this below is all handmade. Now the doors are very plain hollow core doors. And during a trip to France in Malmaison and Versailles, I saw this very similar treatment, and I thought I can copy it. And so I did. And behind this door is an interesting secret. Here you are. The doors are painted on each side, and the bathroom is an Egyptian style bathroom with all details that are interesting. The counter is done with paper, and the head of the ram was a gift from my mother, and I decided to glue it on the faucet. But all these details, they're different Egyptian themes, and the ceiling was my mother's idea to do the stars like they are in the Fox Theater in Atlanta. These are things that I have acquired over a period of time, many years actually, but I think that they follow the theme, particularly in this bathroom.
You painted the molding gold in here, which was brilliant.
Yes, I wanted to
It's
have
the
that
same
gold.
molding, but you painted it gold.
Right.
That's wonderful. Let's go into the dining room.
Now we're coming into the dining room. When I first saw the unit, I envisioned columns. That was the first thing I saw in my head. And I thought, I will divide the space which does it perfectly because I like to have the difference between the living room and the dining room. And the columns are PVC piping, and I did a serpentine green marble finish. I had the capitals, and I painted them antique gold, and a friend helped me put them together. He's an engineer and he knew how to do it, so he helped me out with that.
How did you get them so glossy?
It's a polyurethane.
And what about the molding around it on the sides?
The molding above is cardboard that I mixed along with another piece of Moroccan tile and just embellished it with different colors to make it more interesting.
What about this beautiful lady?
This is one of my paintings.
You painted this. Wow.
I have been painting for many years. I come from a very creative family. My mother painted, my sister, my niece, and I started painting at the age of 8.
Oh, wow.
And I've been collecting art for many years. I have pieces that have been in my family. And I just love things that come from different countries, different cultures.
So that you added this fireplace mantle?
I added, it was in very bad condition in a flea market, and a friend of mine refinished it. And I added the embellishments on the side and painted those gold accents in the columns. But it just adds an element of coziness to the room.
Now, this is clever, what you did here.
It just
What does that hide?
That's the air conditioning unit.
You would never know.
But I just happened to find a perfect fit piece to go in there.
It's perfect. Tell us about these.
These pieces I found at Goodwill. They were in very bad condition, and I love breathing new life into pieces. So I painted it and enhanced them, and they're quite heavy also. This is a beautiful pair. I really like them. Those are one of my favorite pieces in the house because they look so bad when I found them.
What a sense of accomplishment.
No, I love taking things that people will not even look at them or they will discard them, and then I can see.
You find the beauty in
I
them.
find the beauty in them. I can see what they may look after I get done with them.
And here's another door. So all the doors in the house
All
are
the
painted the
doors
same
are
way.
painted the same
I love
way.
that consistency.
Yes. They are. And then I have a lot of pieces also that have been in my family. These two pieces were in my family and my great aunt's home. And it's just meaningful to me to have memories of them. I think a home reflects your taste, and this is my taste. Oh, it's more of a gallery effect. I love museums and I love galleries, and I get a lot of inspiration from visiting them. And I wanted to have that sort of ambiance in my home. And it also lends itself for conversation. People ask, because every single object here has a history or a little story to tell. This piece, for instance, some of my decoupage work, I love photography and I like to photograph pieces in museums, and then I blow up the picture and then I use it as decoupage, mounted on this piece of wood.
A piece of wood, so you stain
and
the
it
wood.
just really enhances it.
It's beautiful.
There are a couple of other examples here. Pair of chairs. It has an Egyptian motif, and that was the first thing I noticed when I saw them. I bought them at Goodwill, and I upholstered them myself.
This is a beautiful painting.
This painting was my mother's, and this is the only one I have, and it's a treasure. Love having it here.
You have your mother's talent.
I think I did.
What's the medium?
Oil.
Oil. I thought it was oil.
Oil on canvas.
You're so lucky to have it.
Oh, I am. Thank you. She was an inspiration to me. Behind here is something completely different because it doesn't look anything like the rest of the house. But I enjoy cooking, I enjoy entertaining. And so this is where I prepare everything. Come on in.
This is interesting because it's very plain, so that your head is clear when you cook, so you can think.
Yes, it is. And I enjoy cooking. So.
And you have a different style in here. Look at this table, 1950s.
As a 1950s, I bought it at a garage sale, and I knew the people who it belonged to.
And this is magnificent. This is just,
I love this
painting.
This. I did this painting not long ago, and what I did was I mounted the canvas onto another larger canvas, and it just
That
I
is
really
brilliant.
enjoy.
That is the a painted a larger canvas black and made that the frame. It really works well.
I really like it.
I love it. It's beautiful. And this is also where you did your tiles, in this kitchen.
I did them in this kitchen, and it was a factory. It took me probably 3 years because it was the whole townhouse has different ones, and I would pour the plaster, let it sit, take them out, clean up the edges, take them to the patio, let them dry, and then use the coffee, and then let them dry. Then I will bring them in, and then with good glue, they're just glued on the wall. And but it's been a labor of love for me. It's just been great. I'm very handy, and I like doing things. I like refinishing, and it's just fun for me to see the end results and share them when people ask me, "How do you do this?" Tell them because people can do the same. You don't need to be daring and try. At least try. Like with this style, it took me 3 times, but I was able to do it.
Okay. Wall, all the way from floor to ceiling. This is the molding. Did you do this first?
No, that was probably the third project I did. And then I mixed and matched and cut, and it fit. And this is the largest piece of Moorish tile that I brought. And it's just very decorative. I call this my French wall. I bought that oval piece in France, and the other pieces are French also.
It's a wonderful backdrop to all the artwork.
Everywhere you sit down, the space in the townhome is only 1,100 square feet.
Wow.
But with the mirrors that are strategically placed, it really enhances the space.
You did this painting, right?
Yes, I did that. That was from in France.
Another spectacular painting.
And as you can see, their wallpaper on the walls, and I wanted to divide the room from the dining room, and it just separates them, and it gives a nice touch there.
It's over on this wall too.
This is one of my paintings here. That's a sunset in the Seine. And I've
Beautiful.
been collecting for a long time. So I have pieces that are from Cuba, Morocco, uh, Greece, Africa. I have every culture here. And these two pieces here are my sisters, the oval flags. He painted those.
Gosh. Does everyone in your family paint?
My mother painted. I have one of her pieces here by the kitchen. And my sister and my niece. We all enjoy art. It was very important in our home. Art and music. This piece here was, I had an antique dealer friend who came over for dinner. He was sitting on the opposite side and he said, I have the perfect piece for you for this wall. And I said, well, what is it? So he described it to me and I said, I want it. And at that time, and I said, well, can I pay you in installments? He said, yes. It was green, but I painted it
It was
antique
green.
gold.
That's amazing.
And it's just, I've always had interest in Egyptian art, as you can see.
Well, it's two-tone.
Yes,
You did a
because
wonderful job painting
I
it.
did that mixed with colors, and it gives that older look.
It does, antique look. And this is your beautiful mother?
This is my mother. This is another example of decoupage, as you can see. I love the shape of the chair, and I embellished it with this. Same with this little table here. And this is another piece that I love. Is an African piece, and it's called an Ashanti stool from Ghana. And it's very sculptural. I just love it, and it's very comfortable to sit there, and it just really enhances the look because, as you can see, it's just every culture is here. You know, Asian. As you can see, everything is mixed, very eclectic. And here is the patio. I love coming here and have a cup of coffee or a glass of wine.
Very bright out today.
I enjoy listening to the trickle of the water. And this is the first year where I have used every color possible. And I'm very, very happy the way it turned out.
It's so colorful and beautiful. I love this little set. It looks very Egyptian.
Now we're going upstairs, and the walls are covered with art, paintings, photographs, drawings.
What's at the very top?
That's a triptych from a Cuban artist. It just shows some of the front of buildings in old Havana. This is a photograph I took in Barcelona. I heard music at the end of the street, and it was in the early afternoon, no one in the streets, but I could hear the music. And just as I was going to turn, I saw that, and I always carry my camera with me. So I took it, and I love that photograph.
I love that photograph. And this?
And this photograph is the jail in Havana.
Wow. Where
Castro kept all his people that he didn't like.
The prisoners.
The prisoners there. Goodness. And that was the view from there. It was a gift from a friend. I didn't take that photograph.
let's look on this side. Oh, this is pretty.
I like that about that estate sale.
It's beautiful. And your niece did this one, didn't she?
My niece did this one, yes.
The talent. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to get up here too.
That's a picture of my great aunt.
Oh.
There are over 200 pictures on the walls.
In your entire house?
Yes.
My goodness.
Every size.
It is like a museum.
But it is like, it's like my gallery. And I love when people come in because they want to know what is this, what's the story behind.
It is a story.
This is a lot of my artwork here. I love the human figure, the female figure. So this is a painting I did from a visit to Gibbs Gardens outside Atlanta.
And that's a copy of
The Monet's Gardens, the bridge.
the Japanese bridge.
Yeah.
Giverny.
And
oh my goodness. All right, tell us about, there's so much here. Tell us about.
This is from a Cuban artist. Love them. One is about a woman that is jealous, the one below.
Oh.
So she's wringing his neck. The
Oh,
other one
I see now.
is all the santos of Afro-Cuban culture.
And these are your nudes, aren't they?
These are mine.
So tell me about this wall. You've changed this, haven't you?
There was a half wall here, and it was eventually taken out. And this was a gift from a friend. It was in a window in New Orleans, and then it just happened to fit the size of the spindler. So I had this built.
Amazing.
But when I had the half wall, which looked like this, pretty much like this, I got up here and I didn't look down, and then I was working on those pieces that are around the opening, and I just didn't look down, and I didn't realize how dangerous it was.
Very
but
danger for beauty.
But I wanted to get it done, and I did, and thank God.
And even
I'm
this,
still alive.
Look at this. Those are tiles, aren't
Those
they?
are tiles. It just adds an element for decor and makes them prettier. Makes the chandelier stand out. This was a gift from my mother. We went shopping and she liked it. This is another example of the tile.
Oh, this looks so good. Oh my goodness, it really looks pretty.
There are just details everywhere.
I love this. You put these over.
I did. I got those
switches.
in Morocco.
And they're not light switches.
They were frames.
They were frames. That's fantastic.
And I copied them.
And now we're going into the guest room. Here's the picture of your.
This is my grandmother in the 1920s.
And the opposite frame is the one with your mother. Oh, I love her hair.
I do too. And this is the first painting I did. I was about 8 or 9 years old.
Oh, that's amazing.
This one on the bottom.
And what inspired you to do that at 8 years old?
Well, my grandmother and my grandfather put me in classes. And my aunt was the teacher. And my grandmother bought me the paintings and the brushes, and my grandfather built the easel for me.
Oh.
So every time I finish a painting, I always dedicate it to her.
Oh, that's so nice.
Because she saw that I had an interest in an art.
I really love this painting.
I do too. It's very Matisse-like,
It
isn't it?
is, yes.
I bought that at a estate sale.
There's a picture of
There's
you.
the drawings
Showing me here. There's your mother.
in France.
And you were even a dancer in school, weren't you?
Yeah, when many years ago I used to dance also. And these are my grandparents. They were my mentors on my work, my painting.
Wonderful. And the doors again.
The
I
doors,
love the consistency.
throughout. Now, here we go into the bathroom and shower.
Which is just as interesting.
Also decoupage work.
Oh, amazing.
And this wallpaper here, it's not wallpaper, it's wrapping paper. And two different people gave me several rolls.
That's amazing.
They didn't know each other, but they gave them to me because
They knew you.
They knew I liked Egyptian art. And then I painted in between so it would break it up a little bit. And then I did a finish on it. And these are hand painted.
You would never know that that is wrapping paper. Beautiful. And here again, here you painted
more the tile that I incorporated there. You see. And then I was in Pompeii, and a lot of the Roman paintings in the homes in Pompeii, they just remind me of that. And I wanted to do something like that on the bottom part.
And even up here, oh, the stars, more. Oh, it's hard to see.
More stars.
But that lamp, the lighting in here is really pretty too.
And now we're going, after you, we're going to my bedroom.
Tell me about this painting.
This painting was a gift from a friend. She was moving and it was in very bad condition. She had it for over 30 years outside.
Outside. Oh my goodness.
And she said, I don't want it anymore. I said, well, I do. And then I restored it.
It's wonderful.
Painted by a well-known gallerist in Atlanta.
Oh. Here's another one that you did.
That's called Solitude.
Is this a self-portrait?
Yes.
Wonderful. Madonna and child.
This is a copy of Franz Hals that I did many years ago.
That's fantastic.
And this is by Romney. I also did many years ago. It was early 70s when I did that.
Beautiful.
And this is little music that makes me think about my mother. She played classical piano. And this is what she used to play for me. And I hear her very often too. She lets me know she's with me.
Love that. And these are ballerinas from Chile?
Yes, from Cuba.
Or Cuba. And there's you. Well, we will end the tour here. Thank you so very much. This is absolutely beautiful.
Well, it's been my pleasure to take you through my home and sharing something so personal with you. But I can tell you it's been a labor of love, and I hope you're getting inspired somehow. I feel a home is a place where you can relax, you can share with your friends, with your family, and it will express your interest. Also, um, as well as where you came from, having things that belong to your family that remind you of that place where it was in your grandparents' home, perhaps. But a home is a place that you can relax and enjoy and share. And this is exactly what I've done in this place. And I hope that you have enjoyed this tour of something very personal, but that I have created with much joy and love, sweat, and tears.
Please support my channel by watching, liking, and subscribing so I can bring you more Bluing House content. Thank you.